I'm Steve Sanders.
And I'm Allison Payne. And we'd like to welcome you to the Museum of Broadcast Communications Kraft Telecenter and NBC News Center.
Now, before you begin your own newscast, let's take a behind-the-scenes look at WGN News and the production of our own 9 o'clock newscast. News coverage begins at the assignment desk, where assignment editors monitor police and fire radios, check out phone leads, and sift through endless streams of news releases.
Reporters and camera crews are assigned to cover a variety of news and feature stories. Some of the coverage is predictable, such as news conferences and appearances by public officials. Other stories are far less predictable: tornadoes, fires, crime, breaking news.
The reporter and camera crew gather all the audio and video needed to tell the story. If the event warrants live coverage, a news van with microwave gear is dispatched to feed pictures and sound directly from the scene. Throughout the day, national and international stories also come to WGN via satellite feeds, including several from Cable News Network.
The pace quickens in the news department as the day goes on. The producer of the newscast meets with anchors, news managers, assignment editors, and writers to help determine the program's rundown. The rundown is the batting order for the stories in the newscast. Tape editors begin editing stories scheduled for the 9 o'clock news.
Writers script the copy for those stories, and they also work with reporters who are bringing in stories from the field. Anchors are busy writing stories they covered, working on news breaks that air throughout the day, and reviewing scripts as airtime draws near. A graphic artist works with an electronic palette to compose computer graphics. These enhance the presentation of many news stories.
In the weather office, Tom Skilling is busy reviewing computer data, checking satellite photos, creating weather graphics, and fine-tuning his nightly predictions. And our sports department carefully monitors the big games to get highlights for the newscast.
And finally, it's airtime. There are a lot of people behind the scenes at WGN who get the newscast on the air. And it's the same here at the NBC News Center. In the control room, the director and the technical staff switch between the various video and audio sources, both live and on tape. They add graphics and insert commercials at the scheduled times. The producer keeps a careful eye on the program's content and flow. A tape playback engineer uses 4 playback machines to air 40 or more tapes during a typical 1-hour newscast.
In the studio, camera operators frame shots, a floor director cues the talent, and a stagehand keeps the teleprompter in sync with the reading pace of the anchors. It's been a busy day, and scores of people, assignment editors, reporters, producers, writers, and technicians have rallied to bring you an hour of news, weather, and sports into your home.
The NBC News Center is your chance to see what it's like to put a finished newscast on the air.
So adjust your NBC News blazer, make sure your microphone is on, and rehearse your script one last time.
And wait for your cue. Your NBC newscast is about to begin.
For WGN News and the Museum of Broadcast Communications, I'm Allison Payne.
And I'm Steve Sanders. Enjoy your visit to the museum and your NBC News Center experience. Live from the Museum of Broadcast Communications Kraft Telecenter, Chicago's newest news team brings you the latest NBC News.
Good afternoon from the NBC News Center.
Thank you for joining us. These are the top stories at this hour.
Last night, President Clinton and airline executives jointly announced airline safety improvements. Most passenger jets will be fitted with fire detectors in the cargo hold beginning next year.
Is further proof of what we can achieve when we work together. This is a critical part of our long-range plan to make Americans more secure and to make sure our skies are safer.
Most of the nation's airlines do not have smoke detectors in their cargo holds, even though the National Transportation Safety Board called for them in 1988. But today, the industry agreed voluntarily to install them. It will cost the airlines about $400 million.
This morning, President Clinton named William Daley as the new Commerce Secretary. Daley is the youngest of former Mayor Richard Davin's 7 children as Commerce Secretary. Daley will be busy with the trade. The President made it clear earlier this week that it will be a main priority of his second term.
And we cannot weaken in our efforts to open more of the world's markets to our goods and services from Asia to Latin America.
Clinton was impressed by the skills William Daley demonstrated in preparing the city for last summer's Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and by the aid Daley provided in getting the key NAFTA trade agreement through Congress in Clinton's first term. The President is expected to announce other cabinet selections soon.
Mayor Richard Daley and Governor Jim Egger put aside their political differences to celebrate a state landmark. The new 840,000 square foot addition to McCormick Place is now ready for business. Both are celebrating this big structure because it could bring billions of dollars of business to the area. McCormick Place South took 3.5 years to complete, covers 27 acres, and has an exhibition hall big enough to hold 27 47s.
Not agree on every single issue that comes before us. But we work and have worked together and will work together on many projects that have benefited the state and the city as a whole.
The first trade show at the new facility will be the International Houseware Show coming next month.
Mayor Daley is calling blue bag recycling a success in Chicago. 8 million blue bags have been processed and 100,000 tons of recyclable materials have been removed. But only 25% of Chicagoans are doing it.
Rocket scientists work, I hate to say it. This is recycling, bottles, and, you can look at your school. You have a lot of paper. That's number one. That's very simple. Number two is cans. There's a lot of cans, or bottles. That's the idea.
Streets and sanitation trucks pick up the bags and take them to 4 centers where the usable materials are taken out. City officials say that in 5 months of the Blue Bag program, it is beating what they are able to collect through the deposit box program in 5 years.
Coming up next, Tom Skilling has the latest weather report.
Also, when we return, a mother saves the life of her 3-year-old son, and a great day in sports for Chicago fans.
I can't believe this report is due this afternoon. What is that?
Craft-free Italian.
Do you carry Italian dressing in your purse?
Hey, I love Italian.
Obviously.
You want some?
No, thank you. No, it's too much fat.
Oh, no, this is craft-free. See, fat-free, cholesterol-free.
It sounds great.
Just try it.
Craft-free Italian non-fat dressing. Fat-free, cholesterol-free, but feel free to love the taste.
Wonder if they make ranch. But they do.
Let's find out if this terrific weather is going to continue.
Here's a look at the weather with our master forecaster, Tom Skilling.
Well, thank you very much, and what a beautiful day in Chicago. Bright sunshine here as the morning clouds moved out, but look what's happening out in the Plain States. There's a new area of cloudiness and rain moving our way, and this could be in as early as late tonight. Could even mess up the early part of tomorrow. We'll have to watch that. We're expecting 1 or 2 inches of rain out in the Plain States, and we also think out there may be some severe weather. Hopefully that will not reach Chicago. Well, that's a check of the weather pattern from our NBC Weather Center. And now I'm pleased to return it to one of the most popular new anchors in our business.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Good luck with that hair treatment. Hey, a mother's son saved her son's life, rescuing him from a sinking car in Virginia. 3-year-old Hunter Crockett shifted his mom's station wagon into neutral yesterday. It rolled out of a parking lot down a hill and right into a nearby pond.
Didn't stop to take off my shoes or my sweater, nothing. I just took off and I ran down the hill. I reached up out of the water and got him, and he laid right on top of me and he held on to my shoulders.
The rescue a miracle, and she's cautioning parents not to leave their kids alone in the car, even for a minute.
Turning to sports, it was a great day for Chicago Bears. Shaq and the Lakers paid a visit to the United Center last night, and they came out swinging. Shaq, averaging 25 points a game, gets 2 of his 27 over the head of Dennis Rodman. Van Exel, from the outside, nails a 3 from the corner. The Bulls are down 15 at the break, but in the fourth, Michael takes a drive over to the Scotty for 2 of his 35. Under a minute left, Kukoc hits 3 to complete the Bulls' comeback. In overtime, watch Randy Brown, women, children, and Eldon Campbell get out of the way. Rodman gets a rebound and gets pushed by Kersey. Watch Scotty and Michael as they tackle Dennis for his own good. And the Bulls take it home 129-123.
In the NFL, the Bears hosted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Soldier Field. With the Bears trailing in the third quarter, Vince Smith recovers the Eric Rett fumble and returns it to the Tampa Bay 18. From there, Raymond Harris takes a 1-yard run and scores the winning touchdown. Final score, Bears 13, Buccaneers 10. In the NHL this afternoon, the Blackhawks took on the Pittsburgh Penguins at the United Center. Score tied at 1. Jeff Hackett stops the Penguins cold. With time running out in the third period, Keith Carney scores this game-winning goal, and the Hawks go on to win it 2-1.
Most parents would rather see their kids out getting exercise instead of sitting in front of the television. But here's one kid whose outdoor play got a little too ambitious. In Topeka, Kansas, 3-year-old Kevin Blake climbed to the top of a 50-foot pine tree. Of course, climbing up is one thing, but getting down is another. Kevin was rescued by the fire department, who got him down with the help of a cherry picker. He got through the ordeal with no injuries, and the little guy made it home just in time for dinner.
That's all the news at this hour. Stay tuned to NBC for coverage of all the day's events.
Thank you for watching the NBC News Center, and have a pleasant afternoon.